Hey, how you doing? Dean Jenkins here from Supply the Y, and I'm here with a very special friend of mine, a professional athlete, pro MMA fighter, Don Shameless Janus. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about distance, and we're going to actually demonstrate how quickly somebody can close distance in a violent situation. So what we're going to do is, I am going to be the bad guy. Don here is going to be the police officer, and we're going to see how much distance it's going to take in order for him to safely be able to get away from me. Is it a yard? 5 yards? 10 yards? Who knows? But we're going to give it a shot, and we're going to take a look. So we're going to get started here, and we're about a yard apart here, and this is my trusty knife, all right, because obviously we don't want anybody to get hurt, but we just want to just demonstrate what it would look like.
How we doing today, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much.
All right, so that was about a yard apart. Don, how did that feel when I came at you?
I had nothing. I was walking forward to approach the situation, and my reaction time to him just bolting at me, I maybe got a yard back before I got hit.
So we know a yard's not going to cut it. Let's expand the distance a little bit and see what's going to happen from there. All right, so now we're going to bump it out to about 5 yards, and we're going to see what that looks. 5 yards, 15 feet.
Hey, man, what's the situation here?
Nothing. What's your issue? Why are you here?
I'm checking on you. I saw a lot of noise when
All right, so that one was 5 yards, 15 feet. Don, how about that one? How did that feel?
Without turning and running, I wasn't going to be able to handle that situation head on. I was losing a ton of space, and there wasn't much I could do, even at 5 yards, you know?
Did you think that it would be that I'd come down so quickly on you, being that there's so if you look at the size difference, there's quite a size difference here. So just to tell you a little bit, I'm 44 years old, and I'm about 250-ish pounds. Don is 30 years old. And Don, what do you weigh right now?
Like 167, 168.
All right, so we're talking like
170 pounds.
So we're talking an 80-pound difference plus between the two of us, plus 14 years. All right, so that should just give you a little bit about the dynamic and how quickly somebody that's significantly less conditioned and significantly heavier can still close the gap on somebody that's in professional athlete shape. All right, so let's widen it out a little bit more and see what happens. So now we're going to widen the cones out to going to be 7 yards apart or 21 feet. So why is 21 feet significant? When we train police officers, we tell them that there is this guideline called a 21-foot rule. Now, it's not really a rule. It is a guideline. It's a suggested minimal distance for a police officer to be able to identify his target, get his gun up, out, and get an aimed shot at the attacker. So we'll see what happens with this.
How we doing today, man?
Yeah, get out of here, man.
I got a couple phone calls. Can't be leaving right now.
Well, phone calls for what?
I just heard one.
All right, that was 21 feet. That's the minimum suggested guidelines. Don, how'd that feel?
Still overwhelmed. You know, you approach a situation like that, and there's not much you can do when someone starts bolting right at you. You know, as you saw, I went to cut an angle, just get away, and then it came to a situation to where I was going to be sprinting away from the threat, and that can't happen. At no point did I feel safe enough to, if I was carrying a firearm, draw and shoot. Just very overwhelming.
So how did you feel when you went to the side and I adjusted, and now I'm coming downhill at you? Did that kind of give you like a sense of doom and impending danger?
I felt like I was able to get out of the way initially, but me not knowing what you were going to do really froze me up.
All right, so that was 21 feet. Let's bump it out a little more and see what happens. All right, so now we've bumped it out to a full 10 yards, 30 feet. So we'll see if this is going to be enough time to increase what they call that reactionary gap, which would allow Don to feel like he could have safely been able to access a firearm, get it up, and actually aim at me. All right, so let's see how the movement goes, and let's see how quickly I can close the distance here.
Hey man, you put that knife knife down.
No, I don't think so.
No, put it down.
No, not today, pal.
No, seriously.
Nope.
You need to talk. I need you to put it down.
All right, so that was 30 feet. So let's see what Don has to say about that. Don, how'd you feel about that?
Obviously, I saw that there was a threat with the knife from that far away. I was able to backpedal enough to get myself out of danger and be able to potentially pull a firearm and make a reasonable shot. But still, that gap is, 3 yards shorter, and I'm getting overwhelmed again. So I'd say about 10 yards is kind of where I felt comfortable enough to back away. But, it's crazy. It's crazy how fast that to be able to think that,
So let me talk a little bit really quick about that. So that's coming from a gentleman that trains. I mean, you're in the gym. How many times a week do you train?
I train mostly 2 to 3 times a day.
2 to 3 times a day?
My rest day is once.
So we're talking you train as much as 18 times a week.
Yeah, I'm putting in a full work week worth of hours in the gym.
So roughly 40 hours a week in the gym is what he puts in.
Not more, but
And he's telling you that it was overwhelming. So I hope this video helps. I want to give Don a big thanks for being able to take time away from his day, his training day, to come help us. And of course, special thanks to my wife Heidi for doing the filming. All right, great job. And again, check us out at Supply the Y.